Pura vida. It's something I hear every day while riding on the bus or walking in the streets. This motto, the pride and joy of some Costa Ricans, is a part of what drew me to this country for study abroad. From the white sand beaches of the Pacific coast to the high mountain rainforests of the south, I was given a great opportunity to learn and grow in a different place. How would I grow and become more enlightened about Costa Rica and the rest of the world by spending 3.5 months in the so-called happiest country? Well, I'd just have to find out. One of the first questions I faced was, how would I adapt to this new culture? I found out by going out. I wore jeans and I walked the streets of San Pedro looking like I knew where I was going, even if I didn't. Living in a big city seemed like a task of survival for me because I grew up in a small town. At first, I couldn't keep up with this new lifestyle. Whether it was running down buses or dodging traffic across the streets, it was overwhelming to say the least. Nonetheless, I loved all the adventure involved with adjusting to life in Costa Rica. Then, little did I know that culture shock started settling in. Identifying the source of my problems was difficult at first, but then I started to sort everything out. I would go running or play soccer with my friends to relieve stress. The feelings of longing for home or not wanting to eat rice and beans every day got to me. I wanted to be a part of the culture but couldn't. I wanted to learn Spanish faster but wouldn't. It all seemed to hit me at once. All I could do was work it out and it would all turn out in time. And it did. I rose up and learned to like the country and its people. Much of my frustration during culture shock arose due to my lack of Spanish-speaking skills. I went to one English class to practice conversation skills with the local students in both English and Spanish. However, I felt as if I would have benefited a lot from doing this sort of thing on a frequent basis, especially at the start of the semester. Thus, I learned about much of the national issues of Costa Rica in the classroom. Cultural diversity was the first topic in my global experience class that totally changed the view I have of myself and others. I never previously gave any thought that my own nationality is not American but rather U.S. American. The difference is quite significant. Now I bear in mind that the world is such an ethnically diverse entity that in many cases there is no justice in making generalization about regions or groups of people. My eyes also opened to some critical views of my own country. I never thought I would look at the spread of democracy in Latin America as a bad thing after hearing through national media about how good it is for the world. These were the types of multidimensional learning that I was exposed to in that class. I then studied critical thinking and how important it is in today's world. It taught me to think about everything such as, what would I need to do to become more self-sufficient? Or what measures can I take to keep myself and others safe in a city that I've never been to before? Just after mid-semester break, I had a great opportunity to show my critical thinking. Throughout the semester, I was constantly thinking of ways to make the program better for next year's students. I was given the privileges of offering my ideas and opinions about the program to NUN program directors. San Jose is not the real Costa Rica that most people think of. What's outside of San Jose is what makes Costa Rica so unique. The diversity is so great because of the country's unique geographical areas. The country ranges from a very close-knit cultural community on the Caribbean coast to indigenous peoples in the south and population centers in the Central Valley. It took me a lot of time and hard work to learn how to be a mentor to young kids. I would wake up each Friday in the early morning to travel to a school to teach English to young kids. I loved working with the young kids ages 7 to 12 at the school. However, I felt like I wasn't making as big of a difference as I had originally hoped to make. From week to week, I couldn't definitively see improvement in the children's English skills. My original expectations of service learning envisioned a more structured and more effective program. I didn't work with the same kids each week, so I didn't know how to monitor their progress. Quite simply, I wasn't working frequently enough and I couldn't work more due to my busy schedule. Nonetheless, the kids were always happy to see me at the Villalobos school. I gave them all a chance to practice their English with me and to teach me some Spanish as well. It was certainly a two-way exchange of knowledge. As my Spanish improved throughout the semester, I found it easier to communicate with my host family and my host brothers especially. My host family was the bridge between me and the local culture. Of course, there were many fun moments of the study abroad program too. Whether it was trips to the beautiful beaches or professional soccer games, I had a lot of fun. I was given great opportunities to see the natural beauty of Costa Rica outside of San Jose. Now, at the end of my first semester of college, I feel as if I am much more prepared to learn through different dimensions and take responsibility for my own activities and learning. I didn't grow to such a great extent because Costa Rica is the perfect place to live and study abroad, but rather because I went through both good and troublesome experiences. It was one very big step towards maturity and independence for me, and because of that, it will always be an unforgettable experience.